Don't worry, we didn't get rid of the drum solo. No way. There were a lot of meetings about it, and I said, I am walking out of here if we get rid of that. Welcome to the CBSN Minnesota Daybreaker, formerly known as the 734. You guys watch this whenever you want. You watch it on your schedule. We're not going to dictate a time for you to catch it, to check us out. So watch it when you want. Take a break in your day. The Daybreaker here on CBSN Minnesota. Let's get you up to speed on the news and weather. The only bummer about changing the name is we had to retire the 734 cast. Nothing more clever than channel number 4 using 4 in their branding. For your health, for your money, for your information. Here's your forecast. Same as yesterday. I don't know how Riley got paid for his work this week. It's pretty much been rinse and repeat. 3 days in a row. Low humidity. If you like it cooler, it's been fun to have the windows open and the air conditioning off. If you like summer, it's coming back. You're going to get some humidity, some storms, wind, just in time for the weekend. Thanks a lot. All right, let's talk about this. This is a concern in the DeRusha household. I'm sure in a lot of yours as well. What's going to happen with high school sports? We know a little bit about what schools are going to do in the fall. Minnesota State High School League's Return to Participation Task Force. What a great name for the task force. Hey, what do you think we should call this? How about Return to Participation? Sounds good. Today's the day for the recommendation. Fall sports practice usually supposed to start August 17th. Lots on the table. They could shorten the season. They could move all the sports to the spring. So we're asking what you're hoping for. You know, most of the fall sports are outside, right? Activities too, though. It's not just sports. Things like debate team, cheerleading, high school sports league, the high school athletics league, they deal with a lot of stuff. So what do you think? What should it look like? Should it be delayed? Should it be a shorter season? Should fans be allowed? All that up for discussion. Leave a comment on the WCCO TV Facebook page, and we'll share some of your thoughts in a moment. Want to bring you up to date on some breaking news that we've been following all morning from St. Paul. This is a live look at 7:36 this morning of smoke continuing to pour out of what used to be an under-construction hotel and apartment building. This right in the heart of downtown St. Paul, across the street from the Xcel Energy Center. Fire department says nobody was injured. And maybe you'll be amazed when you see what this looked like originally. This from our WCCO news crews on scene just after 5 this morning. Flames pouring out of this building. There were actually 2 buildings under construction on this piece of land. This used to be a surface lot. I've parked my car here. You've probably parked your car here, going to a Wild game or a concert at the X. But this is what we saw from our traffic cameras right around 4:45. Look at that fireball, just raging. 10 stories in the air. The building that was burned was about 5 or 6 stories, but this fireball just absolutely roaring early this morning. The glow lighting up nearby parking ramps, the homeless shelter that was located right across the street from Catholic Charities, the Dorothy Day Center, not far from the History Center of Minnesota. All of this right in that heart of downtown St. Paul. Here's what it looked like after the flames were out. You can see the charred remains of the building. This is a wood, timber construction. While it's under construction, there are no sprinklers, there are no firewalls, there's really nothing stopping this whole thing from going up like you're lighting a matchbox on fire. And it roared. It sure did. St. Paul Fire Department, incredible job putting this out, getting the flames knocked down within 90 minutes. We talked with a woman who was on scene this morning.
Well, I was in my room, and my neighbor, she came banging on the door, and she was like, hurry up, come on, come on. You gotta come see this. The hotel across the street's on fire. So I went running down the hallway with her. And yeah, we seen that the hotel was in flames. The flames are as big as our building, which is 6 stories high. And you could feel the heat by the elevator, and we live about a half a block away.
Lots of people sharing videos and pictures on social media. You see just how intense this fire was when firefighters first showed up. That video just showing the flames roaring. I'll show you another still picture that came from an overnight ER nurse who was working at St. Joseph's Hospital, which is right in that area. Oh, just a scary sight, right? You have the people living right in that area, the fire just roaring. At first, many of us didn't know exactly what was on fire. Let me show you the before, because this picture from a webcam, the general contractor, Doran Companies, 2 buildings in this area. One was 5 stories already done. This had about 2 or 3 stories done, and all of it gone. According to the developer's website, it was going to be 144 apartments and a hotel as well. There is more breaking news to tell you about from St. Paul this morning. How about this? A semi-truck just teetering on the edge, hanging over 94 right near downtown St. Paul. We can take you to our traffic camera. Again, this is a live picture at 20 minutes to 8. And you see this semi-truck, which is an Amazon Prime truck. Look very closely at the driver's side tire, that front tire. See how it's hanging over the concrete edge on that ramp? Very, very scary situation, I'm sure, for the driver, but tow trucks there trying to get that all straight. The ramp, of course, closed for a while. Let's bring you up to date on Hurricane Isaias, which has weakened to a tropical storm this morning as it moves over North Carolina. Storm did make landfall as a Category 1 hurricane overnight. Heavy flooding, high waters left in the Carolinas. Also been some reports of tornadoes from the storm popping in Virginia and Maryland. It's now taking direct aim on the mid-Atlantic, including New York City. The winds have dropped to around 70 miles per hour, but boy, that still would make quite a mess of things while moving into the New England area later tonight. The name George Floyd will soon mark the South Minneapolis street where he lost his life. City Planning Commission voted to add a commemorative nameplate, George Perry Floyd Jr. Place, to the sign at 38th and Chicago. Chicago Avenue will remain its name, so the current address there will stay the same. In that same area, Cup Foods is now back open. That convenience store had been under fire for calling police after Floyd allegedly passed a counterfeit bill. Some had said they should have just said, forget it. It was a $20 counterfeit bill. The owner has said, hey, calling police should never have led to Floyd's death. President Donald Trump continuing his push for schools to open this fall. Last night, the president tweeted, open the schools. Dr. Anthony Fauci warning some Midwest states, including Minnesota, to remain diligent, though, until COVID-19 cases are under control. 15 states and the District of Columbia reported an increase in COVID-19 infections. And the CDC wants Minnesota to help. They want to do some work planning for a COVID-19 vaccine. Department of Health here in Minnesota saying we'd be one of 4 states joining a pilot group. Focus is studying vaccine plans and deciding who would get the vaccine first. A milestone night in St. Paul tonight. Baseball back in action with real live fans, not those cardboard fatheads, not the CGI fans that the broadcasters are sticking in. Nope, real people at CHS Field. First professional sport in the Twin Cities with fans in the stands since the pandemic started. Team has been playing at sort of a hub in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. But now the Saints will have 18 home games in St. Paul, just 1,500 fans per game. Got to wear masks, but you can take them off while sitting in your seats because you're outside, and take them off while you're eating and drinking. Pretty clever work by the St. Paul Saints to set up 6 different zones, each zone of the stadium with its own entrance, bathrooms, and concession stand. Pretty cool. All right, let's get back to today's talker. We're talking about fall sports, high school sports and activities. What should we do? What should Minnesota decide for those sports? And Chris is here now with some of your comments. Hey, Chris.
Hi. A lot of people are saying we should probably hold off on
fall
interesting.
Sports. Yeah.
Kimberly is on board as long as they take steps to keep people safe.
Yep.
But a lot of other people are just saying flat out no. Annette says no. Look what's happening with baseball. They're catching COVID. I think it's risky.
Yeah.
Julie also saying no.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, we have seen in Minnesota, the governor allowed some kind of low-risk sports to have practice and have games even. You know, you think about soccer. It's all outdoors. It's not intense, like in your face. I worry a little bit about football. Football's kind of face-to-face situation, you know.
It's hard to social distance.
Hard to social distance.
In that case.
Soccer, you get up in it, but it's not it's way more spread out than like an offensive line squaring off with a defensive line. I don't know, it seems like you could do the same thing with sports as they're doing with schools, which is let different regions make their own choices.
That's probably what'll happen.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll be waiting for that today. We'll have updates for you here on CBSN Minnesota and also on WCCO TV. That's it. Daybreaker from CBSN Minnesota. Hey, we're the only local streaming news source in Minnesota and western Wisconsin. Glad to keep you up to date all the time. CBS News app or WCCO.com. We'll see you back here tomorrow.